Hey, and welcome to the vodcast for nicksmoot.com. It's a part of the Simple Mentoring Mythos Project nonprofit effort to reconnect parents and teens. On April 2nd, big event down at the Coeur d'Alene Library at 6:15. Come on down. I'd love to see you guys there. Thank you for commenting. Just so you know, the blog is going all sorts of crazy places. We got people reading and watching from all over the world now, and we're a month old. We got people in Palestine. Hello. It's good to meet you guys over there. Today, what we want to talk about specifically is how to ask for help. That's one of those things that people do very poorly. A lot of times we just kind of expect for things to be fixed without ever asking, and so we get stuck in that spot where we know something needs to change, but we just sit in it and don't ever request for help in the right way. And maybe when we do, it creates a dissonant or a negative environment by asking. We want to talk today about the art form of asking for help. So today with me, I've got a friend of mine. He's actually a high school student in our community, and actually he doesn't go to high school anymore. He skipped part of his high school experience. He goes to college now. He's one of those smart kids. But his name's Clayton Cardarelli, and I want to introduce him to you. There's Clayton. We'll get the camera set up so we can both talk. But yeah, we want to talk specifically about how to ask for help and what happens when you don't ask in the right way. A lot of times, and we're specifically speaking into when teens or parents realize there needs to be a major shift. So when maybe you're a teenager and you're realizing I need to be guided by my parents, or if you're a parent, I need to be connected to my teenager. We're going to talk about those two specific scenarios. Clayton and I were talking. He was telling me about his experience when major shifts he knew needed to happen, but how he handled them poorly. So I want him to tell a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the thing is, I'm sure that for all teens that they want to be able to connect with their parents, and they want them to be able to understand, even if that's something that they feel deep inside that they're not really ready to admit. So really the big thing is to get to that point where something, a catalyst will lead you to that point where you realize that there are some things in your relationship that you need to change, whether reconnecting with your parents or showing them respect. And for me, I know in my own life, those arguments that I had with my parents became that catalyst where I would go, I'd basically just sit and pout in my room afterwards, and I wouldn't get to the spot where I would actually be willing to change. And so that's what we're talking about, is it's important to humble yourself to that point where you realize that both of you have that mutual feeling that something needs to change, and to get to that spot where you're ready to do it.
I think it's a great thing that he's saying. A lot of families know that there's something that needs to change, that the dynamics just aren't clicking right, and a lot of people don't know how to approach it. So today I want to talk to you teens and to you parents about how do you appropriately ask and use the right art form for help in changing things. So first, like he said, which I think is huge, is you got to humble yourself. Both sides of the coin, parents and teens. In humbling yourself, it doesn't mean that you're agreeing with, I'm going to say this, most likely there's something you've done wrong, but humbling doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. Humbling means you realize you don't understand it completely. So teens, you haven't lived as much life as your parents. You genuinely need to understand your brain is forming, there's a lot of things going on, and you need to humble yourself and go, I need to ask for help. Parents, same thing. When you feel like you're not connecting well with your teen, ask for help from them. Be able to humble yourself and realize, I don't understand this whole thing. Step one, humble yourself. Step two is this: set up an intentional time after you've humbled yourself to interact with that individual. In that intentional time, choose the right location. If you're a parent, choose a place where your teen feels comfortable. If you're a teen, choose a place where your parent feels comfortable. If you're a teenager, you don't want to take your parents to an Under Oath concert where they're going to feel totally out of place, out of their own skin, and you're going to try and have a real serious conversation with them. Not going to work. Choose a place that shows them you have taken into account who they are, and you want to talk about something seriously. Thirdly, speak genuinely from your heart about what you feel like is the problem going on. Parents, speak clearly from how you feel. I feel statements are phenomenal because that's true. This is how you feel. When you start talking about actions, it can turn into a fight real quick. Parents, I feel like we're not connected, and this hurts me in my heart. Like, this is how I feel. Teens, I feel like I'm lost in this world and I need your direction and help, mom or dad. Once you go to the genuine speaking from your heart about the problem, then genuinely value the other person. If you're a parent going about connecting with your kid or your teen, speak into how you genuinely see them as someone that's important and valuable in life, and you want to know more about them. You want to be connected to them. Teens, value your parents. You know things about this life that I don't. You understand certain things. I like this about your personality or who you are as a mom or a dad, and I need you to speak this into my life. Once you have done those key things, humbled yourself, picked the right location, spoke genuinely from your heart about the problem, spoke genuinely about the individual and what qualities you admire in them, then specifically discuss the area of need. You've said, here's what I'm feeling, now make the request. I feel this way, I value this in you, I need help. Parents, to your teen, I need help in connecting with you, I don't know how to do it. Teen, I need help in figuring out this life. I need you to guide me in this area that I am trying to understand. It's a specific request that's tangible. The next piece is have an open discussion. It's going to be two-sided. It'll go back and forth as you discuss this. Be prepared for that. And once the discussion is done, come to a set conclusion. This is how I'm going to help you. If you use this art form rightly, most of the time, it's really hard for people to say, I don't want to help you figure out this life. A parent's not going to look at you most likely and go, sorry, I want you to be stumbling through life on your own. Your teen won't look at you, parent, if you're going, I genuinely want to connect with you and I'm trying to figure it out. They're not, most likely, if you use the art form, they're not going to look at you and go, I don't want to connect with you. I hate you. If you're genuinely humbling yourself and saying that you desire these things and valuing them and doing all those pieces we talked about. So I guess with all that said, there's the art form that I'm suggesting to try and use to connect up, and I would say try it. Give it a shot. There's nothing that it's not going to hurt anything if both sides, parents and teens, are humbling themselves and having a real conversation about what they really need and asking for help from the other party so we can figure this thing out. Thank you for all the comments and emails we're getting. If you want to email anything in, nick@nicksmoot.com. Say thank you to my lovely assistant, Clayton Cardarelli. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.